Okay, picture this. It's a Tuesday. You just got paid. You open your banking app, and for a brief, beautiful moment, you see a number that actually looks like progress. Maybe it's $3,400. Maybe it's $6,800. Maybe, if you've really been grinding, it's flirting with that magical five-figure mark. And you think to yourself, this is it. This is the month I finally crossed $10,000. Then rent hits. Then your car needs new brakes. Then your friend's birthday dinner turns into a $90 tab because someone ordered the Wagyu. Then Amazon sends you that little notification about the thing you put in your cart 3 weeks ago. And hey, it's on sale now, so technically you're saving money by buying it. 2 weeks later, you check your account again. You're back to $2,300. And you have absolutely no idea where the rest of it went. Look, if that hit a little too close to home, I need you to stay with me. Because what I'm about to explain is the single most frustrating financial trap in existence, and almost nobody talks about it honestly. My name is Stranger, and I spend way too much time thinking about why ordinary people can't seem to break past their first $10,000 in savings. If you're someone who keeps watching your bank account climb up and crash down like a broken elevator, never quite breaking through to real wealth, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because here's the thing, getting stuck between $0 and $10,000 isn't a math problem. I mean, it is a math problem, but it's mostly something else. And once you understand what that something else is, everything changes. Challenging the belief. Now, the first thing I want to challenge is something you've probably been told your entire life. Just make more money and you'll save more. No. That is, statistically speaking, one of the most misleading pieces of financial advice ever given. According to a 2023 report from Bankrate, roughly 57% of American adults can't cover a $1,000 emergency expense from savings. But here's the part nobody quotes. That statistic holds true across income brackets. A study from Lending Club found that around 49% of people earning over $100,000 a year are still living paycheck to paycheck. Let that sink in. Half of six-figure earners living paycheck to paycheck. So if making more money automatically solved this problem, those numbers would look completely different. They don't, which means the trap between $0 and $10,000 isn't about your salary. It's about something much deeper, the real diagnosis. Here's what most people don't realize. The journey from $0 to $10,000 is psychologically the hardest financial journey you will ever take. Harder than $10,000 to $100,000. Harder, in some ways, than $100,000 to $1 million. And I know that sounds insane. Let me explain why. When you have $0, every dollar you save feels meaningful, but it also feels useless. You put $200 in savings and you think, cool, I have $200. That's a tank of gas and a bad week away from being broke again. There's no momentum. There's no compounding doing anything interesting. Your money just sits there looking small. Compare that to someone with $50,000 invested. That person earns, on average, around $3,500 to $4,000 a year just from market returns, doing literally nothing. Their money makes money. They have what economists call financial gravity. Once you have it, wealth pulls more wealth toward you. But between $0 and $10,000, you have no gravity. You're pushing a boulder up a hill with no help from physics, and every time life sneezes on you, a flat tire, a vet bill, a wedding you have to fly to, that boulder rolls right back down. The math nobody shows you. Let me show you the math, because this is where it gets really uncomfortable. The average American household spends about $6,440 per year on unexpected expenses, according to data from a 2022 LendingTree survey. $6,440 per year on stuff they didn't plan for. Now let's say you're a pretty disciplined saver. You're putting away $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year. Good for you. That's better than most people. But do you see the problem? Your entire annual savings rate gets eaten by the average annual emergency expense. You're running on a treadmill. You save $6,000. Life takes $6,440, and you end the year negative $440. This is why people stay stuck. It's not that they aren't saving. It's that they're saving at exactly the rate the universe is designed to take it back from them. To actually escape, you don't need to save a little more. You need to save dramatically more, at least for a short, painful, focused period, so that you build up enough cushion that unexpected expenses stop wiping you out. The psychology. Now, you might be thinking, okay, stranger, I get it. I just need to save more. Tell me something I don't know. Here's the thing. Saving more isn't the hard part. Wanting to save more isn't even the hard part. The hard part is that your brain is literally wired to sabotage you in this exact range. There's a psychological phenomenon called lifestyle creep, but there's a lesser-known cousin of it that I call savings shame. It works like this. When you have $500 in your account, spending $80 on dinner feels reckless. When you have $4,500 in your account, spending $80 on dinner feels responsible. Because hey, look at all this money you have. Your brain doesn't process savings as a long-term tool. It processes savings as permission. The more you save, the more your subconscious whispers, you've earned a treat. This is documented behavior. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that people consistently increase discretionary spending by 30 to 50% after reaching what they perceive as a safe savings threshold. And that threshold, for most people, sits right around $5,000. So you climb to $5,000, your brain throws a small celebration, and then over the next 3 months, you spend yourself right back down to $1,800, and the cycle repeats forever. The analogy. Look, I want you to think about it like this. Imagine you're trying to fill a bathtub, but there's a drain in the bottom you can't fully close. If you turn the faucet on at a trickle, the drain wins. The water never rises. You stand there for hours, frustrated, wondering why nothing's happening. The only way to fill that tub is to blast the faucet at full power for a short period of time, get the water level high enough that the drain becomes irrelevant, and then you can ease off. That's exactly what escaping the $0 to $10,000 trap looks like. You can't do it with a trickle. You have to blast the faucet. You have to have, for some defined period, 3 months, 6 months, whatever you can stomach, a phase of borderline aggressive saving that builds enough water level that life's little drains stop emptying you out. The surprising insight. This is where it gets really interesting. Most financial gurus tell you to save 10% of your income. Some of the more ambitious ones say 20%. But here's what the data actually shows. A 2021 study from Fidelity, tracking the savings behavior of people who successfully crossed the $10,000 threshold and kept going, found something fascinating. They didn't save 10%. They didn't save 20%. During their breakthrough phase, the period where they finally escaped the trap, they saved an average of 38% of their take-home pay for somewhere between 4 and 7 months. Then, once they had a real cushion, they dropped back down to a sustainable 15 to 20%. In other words, they didn't try to run a financial marathon at a comfortable pace. They sprinted hard, they sprinted briefly, and then they settled into a jog. And here's the part that should genuinely change how you think about money. The people who tried to do it the slow and steady way, the 10% forever crowd, were statistically less likely to ever cross $10,000 in lasting savings. Why? Because slow and steady gives life too many opportunities to drain the tub. Actionable steps. So here's what I want you to actually do, not someday, this week. Step 1. Calculate your real escape velocity number. Look at your last 3 months and figure out what your true essential expenses are. Rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, minimum debt payments. Everything else is negotiable for a short window. Step 2. Pick your sprint window. 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Don't make it forever. Your brain can't handle forever. Make it a finish line you can see. Step 3. Automate the transfer the day your paycheck hits. Not at the end of the month. Not whatever's left over. The moment money lands in your account, a chunk moves to a separate high-yield savings account that you don't have a debit card for. Friction is your friend. Step 4. Remove the drains. Cancel 3 subscriptions today. Delete the shopping apps off your phone. Unsubscribe from every promotional email. Make spending inconvenient for the duration of your sprint. Step 5. When you hit $10,000, and you will, do not, I repeat, do not celebrate by spending. Celebrate by opening a brokerage account and putting some of it to work. Because once that money starts earning money, you have officially entered a different financial universe. Look, I want to be straight with you. The reason most people stay stuck between $0 and $10,000 forever isn't because they're dumb. It isn't because they don't work hard. It isn't even because they don't make enough money. It's because nobody ever told them the truth, that this specific range of wealth is a psychological war zone, and the strategies that work later in your financial life do not work here. You can't coast your way out of this trap. You can't optimistic thinking your way out of it. You have to attack it, briefly, intentionally, uncomfortably. But here's the beautiful part. Once you cross $10,000, really cross it with momentum behind you, the game changes permanently. The same person who couldn't hold on to $3,000 for 6 months suddenly finds themselves holding $25,000 without thinking about it, then $50,000, then $100,000. Because financial gravity is real, and it works in your favor once you build up enough mass to create it. The first $10,000 is the hardest dollar you will ever earn. Everything after that is statistically and psychologically downhill. So stop trying to win this game at a trickle. Turn the faucet on. Fill the tub, get past the drain. If this video helped reframe how you think about your money, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and drop a comment telling me what your current savings number is and what your sprint window is going to be. I read them. I respond to them. And honestly, just typing it out makes it real. I'll see you in the next one. Go fill the tub.